Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for April 16th. We're looking at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair. This particular pair is moving sideways, has a slight bias to the downside. It did create an inside bar today after moving much lower. It did close lower, so we could have a potential breakout of the previous day's range. And if we do, of course, that could be a good trading opportunity. Now, what we are looking for as far as movement is 100.25, potentially down to 97.72. Look for some resistance around 99.72 and look for some support around 98.72. Okay, let's take a look at the Euro USD pair. This pair continues to move sideways. We'd have to get a close below this low for the bias to change definitely to the downside. We could get that move during this next session. We'll just have to wait and see. We are looking for this pair though to move potentially as high as 133.88 and possibly as low as 130.13. Look for some resistance around 132.27 and look for some support around 131.46. Now, switching to the pound US dollar pair, this particular pair closed lower today. It definitely has a bias to the upside. It may be starting to move sideways right now. We'll just have to wait and see. We get another bar or two down or up, but not breaking this high. This pair could move sideways. As you can see, it's kind of done a pattern of going up and then moving sideways for the most part in a downward fashion, but still sideways overall, and then moving much higher. So we could see this pattern repeat. It moved down and then back up again. We'll just have to wait and see. We are expecting this pair though to move as high as 152.07, potentially as low as 146.82. Look for this pair to hit resistance around 150.36 and look for some support around 148.36. Let's take a look at the Swiss, the US dollar Swiss pair. This pair closed higher today. Basically, it's been retracing this large drop that we had this week. We are expecting this pair, however, to potentially move as high as 116.14, possibly as low as 112.99. Look for some resistance around 114.85 and look for some support around 113.97 in this particular pair. This pair overall is moving sideways and the bias is slightly to the upside currently. Now, the Eurozone had their CPI release today. It was as expected as far as the month-to-month at 0.6%. Year-to-date, it was a little higher than expected, but a drop overall from the previous month's year-to-date data at 1.7. It dropped down to 1.5%. Now, moving ahead into Friday's session, we have the Swiss releasing their retail sales for February at 3:15 a.m. tonight. That's Eastern time. Consensus is that it has dropped from 1.2% to negative 0.2%, which would, of course, be negative news for the Swiss franc. Now, the U.S. has Chairman Bernanke speaking at a federal conference in Washington at 12:30 p.m. So depending on what Mr. Bernanke says, we could get some movement out of that. It's definitely worth taking a note of. Now, as far as what I'm looking for during this next session, really there's only one trade that I'm looking for in the pound Japanese yen pair. It formed a swing trade, looking for it to move to the upside, looking for a buy opportunity at the 150.20 mark and looking to exit this particular trade at 151.20, 100 pips worth of movement. That does keep us under, by the way, this previous resistance that was hit or that has occurred in the past. So if we do get a movement up and it breaks through here, we don't have to retrace all the way, or we don't have to move all the way up to this point before we exit, which is key because you really don't want to have to go past some pretty strong resistance if you can help it when you're breaking out. And of course, our breakout point is higher than some of these other resistance levels that we have. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.